guys, today you are going to be watching me transplanting two of my citrus seedlings that I started from seed, and these two citrus are my lemon tree and my honey tangerine, and they are both a year old and they are both over a foot in height, and it's time to transplant them because I've noticed that during this time of the season when the weather gets a little bit cooler, they start putting out a lot of new, fresh, healthy growth, and they are also getting root bound. As you can see, some of the roots are sticking out of the pots, and I constantly have to water them every week, meaning that they need more room to grow because they are taking a lot of water from the small amount of soil that they have to grow in. And so far, they're doing really well. The honey tangerine has a lot of branches, and so does the lemon, but it's going to need a bigger pot to grow in, and I will be planting them, transplanting them into a 5-gallon container, and they will be growing in the 5-gallon container probably for a very long time because of limited spaces. I probably won't transplant them into any larger container than a 5-gallon. So over here, these are the 5-gallon containers that I have, and the soil that I will be using is a mixture of organic compost and garden soil, and also I've added some slow releasing fertilizer. Since I'm growing in container, it's always a good idea to add a little bit of slow releasing fertilizer because of the limited amount of soil that the plant has to grow in. It will be taking up all the nutrients from the soil, so you always want to make sure you keep adding nutrients back into the soil in a consistent manner. So the slow releasing fertilizer works really well. It feeds the plant up to 4 to 6 months, so I won't have to feed my plants again probably until the beginning of spring next year. Alright, so let's get started. Next we're going to just try to get this seedling out of the container, and I'm just going to go around and firmly press around the edge of the pot, and I'm probably going to roll it a little bit. So here you can see the seedling is out of the container, and you can just see how much root bound this orange tangerine has, and the lemon is probably going to be the same. This is a bit root bound, but not as bad as I expect it to be. You can see some of the white roots that are trying to grow, and some of the older roots are a little bit more yellow, and it's just the soil is pretty dry because it doesn't have much to grow in, and there's probably more mass root than the soil, so it's definitely time to transplant this baby. The best way I save money on garden soil is just basically not to buy garden soil at the store, because I already have garden soil right in my very own backyard. So basically all I need to do is just go out and dig a hole and get the garden soil right from my backyard, and then mix it with my compost, and that saves me money and it works just fine. Okay, here is what the roots of the lemon plant looks like. It's as root bound as the honey tangerine, and I'm just going to, okay, I don't think I can do this with one hand, so I will be right back. I have the lemon plant sit right in the center, and now all I'm going to do is fill around the plant. So the sun is almost setting down, and as you can see, I transplanted them into the 5-gallon container and have gave each of the citrus plant a nice soaking, and they will be recovering from the transplanting shot outside. From experience, I've always noticed that plants always seem to grow and or recover a lot faster and a lot better outside. So they'll stay outside for about 3 days before I take them inside. Or actually, they could probably still grow outside here for another month before it gets too cold and I would have to take them inside. But this is the final result, and they will probably be growing in this 5-gallon container for a very, very long time. I'm just glad that I motivate myself to do the transplanting now, since I was thinking that they could probably grow in that smaller container for another 2 years, which would have been a very bad idea considering how much it was root bound already now. So I'm just really glad I did it, and hopefully these 2 citrus plants won't get too shocked from the transplant, and they will be able to recover. The biggest worries I have is whenever I transplant citrus, it tends to go into major shock and decide to lose all of its leaves, and it's just turns really ugly. So keeping my fingers crossed, and hopefully you will too for me.